Hi, I'm Chuck Morendi, broker of Sequim and Port Angeles Real Estate. I want to talk to you a little bit today about real estate litigation and why it's so important that you avoid it. Now, I'm a real estate broker and I help clients buy and sell real estate. But in the process, if you're not careful, you could be involved in real estate litigation. Not necessarily because you want to be, but because the opposing party may be the kind of person that insists on suing you. As a real estate attorney for 20 years, I litigated almost every real estate issue, including the issues that come up in buying and selling real estate. Now here's what I learned, and I want to share this with you because it's really important that you avoid litigation, and that when you buy or sell your real estate, that you don't make the kinds of mistakes that could cause you to end up in litigation. One of my rules as an attorney, and I shared this with clients, was avoid litigation at all costs, or nearly at all costs. You know, you could win a lawsuit after 1 or 2 years of litigation, but I'll guarantee you, you will still feel like you lost. Every client that has ever won still feels like it was a horrendous nightmare. It's not worth the stress, it's not worth the money. So, practice preventive law. Avoid litigation. There's a really good reason for avoiding litigation. As if stress and money weren't enough. Part of the frustration that people experience in our judicial system is that they feel that they don't get justice or fairness. I can tell you that as an insider, that our judicial system is severely broken. Now, most people, even people on the street, you probably know, our judicial system is broken. We all know that. The average person doesn't realize how severely it's broken. There are two words that have no place in our courtrooms anymore, and I say this with a sense of sadness. One is the word truth, and secondly, the word justice. I remember standing in a courtroom one time right in front of the judge's bench. There was an attorney standing next to me. We were arguing a case. The attorney next to me spent 5 minutes boldly lying to the judge. I mean, they were blatant lies, and he knew they were lies about the facts. He also distorted the application of the law. When he finished, I looked at the judge and I said, "Your Honor, with all due respect, counsel has been grossly misrepresenting the facts and even lying." The judge looked at me and said, "Counsel, we will have no character attacks in this courtroom." Every time I've ever used the word truth in a courtroom, whether it was a hearing of some kind or a trial, everybody's eyes glaze over. I kid you not. You can have people on the witness stand who will lie, who will perjure themselves over and over again, and judges do not care. I had a trial in which I had a defendant opposing party that I impeached on the witness stand. He lied 8 times. The judge did nothing. I mean, the judge's facial expressions didn't even change. He didn't care. They do nothing to enforce telling the truth. They do not punish anybody for perjuring themselves on the witness stand in civilian cases. The problem that people have in our courtroom or in our judicial system is that they feel that they are not guaranteed fairness. But it's worse than just not being guaranteed fairness. It's feeling that no one cares about the truth and no one cares about the outcome. And the vast majority of attorneys that I went up against had no hesitation in lying about the facts in the courtroom. And judges don't seem to care. They really don't. So you can spend, if you get involved in real estate litigation, you can spend $20, $30, $40, $100,000 on attorney's fees, and a year or 2 years later still not have a guaranteed result. And you could even end up getting stuck with the other side's attorney's fees in the worst case scenario. So You don't want to litigate. That's why I told my clients the last thing you want to do is litigate. After talking with clients for about an hour and a half about the litigation process, the motions, the things that could happen, if they were still insistent on litigating, I would reach into my pocket and pull out a quarter, and I would say, this is the chance of you winning. Call it. And I would flip the quarter into the air and make them call it, and I would say, it's a 50-50 chance that you'll win. And they would look at me and say, you're kidding. And I'd say, no, you don't get my point. If you are right on all the facts, if all the facts are on your side, if all the law is on your side, you have a 50% chance of a judge ruling in your favor. I am not kidding about this. This is how bad our judicial system is. So avoid litigation at all cost. What is all of this discussion about? When you're buying or selling a house, you better be darn sure, in my opinion, you better be darn sure that you have an agent that helps you avoid litigation by practicing preventive law. I think it's a little bit unfair, but it's just the nature of the industry, that realtors, all realtors, are called upon essentially to practice law by drafting contracts and a language, especially when they're drafting addendums with unique language to address unique situations or terms. The law holds them to the standard of a lawyer when they're drafting documents. Now, in Washington State, we use standard forms, but there is still a lot of information that we have to plug in the right place, and addendums are often uniquely drafted with special language depending on the circumstance. So you do not want ambiguities, you do not want the wrong forms used, you must have the correct information. There must be, if you're the buyer, you're the master of the offer. If you're the seller, make sure that all of the terms and conditions are exactly what you intend with the buyer. That's harder than it sounds. So practice preventive law, get everything right, in writing, the way it should be, after you've done a great job negotiating the best possible price for your transaction and terms. Get it all down. Get help getting it all down. And if I can help in any of this, email me or give me a call. You know how to find me. My website is sequimportangeles.com. My real estate blog is sequimrealestatenews.com. And you can search the internet, MLS, by going to search sequimmls.com. And you can find my email address on any one of those websites. You can always call me too at 360-775-5424. One of the things that I really enjoy now as a real estate broker is that when you hire me as a broker, you get all of the knowledge of a real estate attorney free. I don't practice law now, I've retired from that, but I can still give you all of the information, knowledge, and education that I gained in that process, absolutely free, as your buyer's agent or your seller's agent. I hope this has been helpful. If you've had any experience in litigation, you probably will concur heartily with what I've shared.